Hey guys, part 4 of our 800 part series. Let's take over the world as Savoy, right? We have two vassals, Switzerland and Baden, but Baden is actually just the old Swiss territory. Baden formed from the killing of Switzerland or whatever. So basically, we just own Switzerland. Our current quest is to vassalize Milan. I think we're gonna have to do it through military, so I want to fabricate claims against them. So I'm going to stop improving relations with them. I have 100 improved relations with them, which is unfortunate because now I'm going to attack them. It looks like Tuscany left the coalition against us. Milan would gladly accept an alliance with us, but we hate them because they negotiated a separate peace in exchange for like 40 ducats. Like, they're willing to throw away an alliance with Burgundy, Castile, Aragon, and us, and Naples, and Venice just to get 40 bucks. What dicks. Seriously, that was not a good move on their part. So we need to fabricate claims in order to go attack them in the face. So that's our current plan. The Hansa have joined a military coalition against somebody. Right, fabricate claims, and then we'll attack Milan. I think there's currently a coalition against us, so if we do attack Milan, we'll take some heat for it. Some heat. Make sure Burgundy is very happy and that we're very happy with them. One of the biggest worries that I always have is that my country will dislike a country that is crucial to our survival. Because you can control this number pretty well, but you can't control this number. You can't control what your citizens think of somebody. So if it's in your country's best interest to ally Burgundy, but your citizens hate Burgundy, then you just can't ally Burgundy. And there's nothing you can do about it. So that sucks sometimes. Alright, when will we fight this war? It looks like I want to recruit 9 more soldiers and then get up to 15,000 manpower and then have the truce expire with Milan. Do I have a truce with Milan? I don't. So actually I should probably attack them now, because everyone who hates me can't come to their aid. Yeah, so I need to attack them within the next 5 years. So what we'll do is we'll take this military tech. We got 10% neighbor bonus. That's the best I think we're going to get. And that'll allow us to make armories, which will increase our manpower, which in turn increases the regeneration rate of our manpower. Let's get national tax nonsense. And we need to improve relations with Baden after we finish fabricating claims on Milan. So now we got all these buildings we can make. So we want to build buildings everywhere. I think we ran out of monarch power to make those buildings. And then once we've got those 2 buildings everywhere, then we'll be ready to fight Milan. Honestly, we're probably ready to fight Milan right now. But I want to wait till the fabrication of claims finishes. Okay, let's royal marriage with Baden and royal marriage with Switzerland. I can't believe they're our vassal. Oh, government type. They can't. Does that mean we can't annex them? I don't know. It might mean we can't annex them, but we'll see. Okay, Baden now has royal marriage. Switzerland and fabricating the claims. Good. Burgundy needs to be our best friend. We have 79 improved relations. We could get 20 more from them. And now let's recruit some soldiers. So the thing is, recruiting soldiers and building buildings both cost gold. And so you don't pay for soldiers until you've recruited them. So if you recruit the soldiers first and then you build the buildings, it's going to take longer, right? Because you're paying the salary of all those soldiers while you build the buildings. So that's why I want to finish my buildings and then recruit my soldiers and then attack Milan, rather than doing it in reverse order. But if enough of my allies will come into the war with me, I guess it doesn't matter. So subjugate Burgundy and the Papal State will subjugate Milan for me. So I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna let other people fight my war for me. So let's fully fund the army and recruit some troops. We'll take a loan. $22. We're rich. I know, I just got finished saying I should build the buildings before I do this, but it's just so tempting, and my casus belli to subjugate them is going to expire. I don't really know when, at some point, so the quicker we take Milan, the better, right? Alright, we got to go pope it up, von Popington. We got 1.5 von Popingtons up there. Getting closer to von Popinating. Although the von Popination reward is not von Popitudinous enough, really, for me. We'll improve relations with these guys for a little bit and then cancel when it's time to kill Milan. Costs 10 to make this and this. So I read recently, although I'm not sure if it's true, so it costs me 10 to build a guy here, but when the armory finishes it'll cost 9. And I read that the maintenance on the guy is different depending on how much you paid to purchase him. So it's better to have all of your military buildings in one location, because and then build all your troops there, because then it costs less to von Popington. Standardized pikes. Supply limit, combat width. Yeah, combat width is important enough that we're going to take this pretty early. And then we're going to switch our unit types to men-at-arms, and we'll keep Latin Knights. And now I think we're ready to fight Milan. We can get 3 more units, but I don't think we need them. We'll get 1 more. Notice how one of my diplomats is just sitting idle because I'm going to use him to fight Milan. That's just laziness. I shouldn't have let him sit idle while I did that. Alright, so let's take our general. We'll slow down the game to 3x. We'll declare war on Milan, and then we'll invite our friends. I don't need to break royal ties because I'm going to subjugate them, so I would want to royal marry them again anyway, so I might as well just... Papal State Venice and Burgundy. Declare war. Alright. Papal State, you come. Join us. Call to arms. Venice, you come. And Burgundy, you come join us as well. So let's check whether any of Milan's allies are going to come. It looks like Naples, my bestest friend, has decided to come in on the side of Milan. Big mistake, Naples. But whatever. I can't stop him from being stupid, right? So the goal is to fully subjugate Milan. They're going to attack Lombardy. They will arrive on the 16th. My guys will arrive on the 10th. So if I wait 6 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I can go and arrive on the 16th. So let's try to arrive with this. Will make him slightly more strong. So that I don't want him to give up on attacking me. Oh, with these 3 guys, it made me too strong. Oh well. So he's going to arrive on the 21st. In 3 days. So these guys can come to my aid right now. I want to wait till the fight starts because it's possible I could win it without. See, I don't want to give up the siege of Lombardy to Switzerland. Oh, Switzerland's my vassal, so it's okay to give up the siege. There we go. I won that one. I'll break off. I'll detach a force to siege them and then come up here to help with the fight. Kill the army. Alright. Sides have been drawn. It's basically Burgundy take on. And we win this war. So this game is more about diplomacy than technology and fighting. Like, if you get the right allies and manipulate them in the right way, you can win as any nation in any situation. It's pretty crazy. It's still funny imagining people being stupid enough to pick a fight with me when Burgundy is my ally. But, whatever. So this, they're going here. Send some troops over to punch them in the face. Looks like we've got the morale. We got 3.1 morale and they've got 0.66. So we're going to win that fight. We're going to send our diplomat back to Baden. We already have a diplomat in Baden. And Switzerland. And who is the guy we wanted? Let's go over here. You can't improve the guy that you're fighting. I want to make friends with France and Austria, and then I will be able to basically kill absolutely everyone. And no one will be able to stop me, and it'll just be hilarious. Like, eventually, once you're crazy powerful, your powerful allies will say, oh my god, you're going to win the game, I should stop being your ally, and then they'll fight you. But by then, it's always too late. Alright. I think I need to keep funding my army just in case Naples comes. Maybe I don't. But is it worth the risk? I'm making money with my army funded. If I unfund them and Naples comes to attack me, I will regret it. But then again, it's a whole $1 per month. $1.79 per month. Per month. I like people who, instead of say t. Both of my sons can't say th, or couldn't say th. So it makes sense to just say t. You learn it the lazy way, and then you never correct yourself when you get older, and it's genius. Come on, war, fight yourself. So my vassals are following this guy around. I got a pretty big army full of vassals. Maybe I should just go fight with them. Oh, I can't get there. Holy Roman Emperor. Oh, I should probably be investing these points, huh? So I control one guy. I'm not gonna get control of that guy ever, because England is fighting for control of him, and England can afford more than me because they're bigger than I am. Control of the Papal See is basically just who's got more territories, even if those territories are very poor. Speaking of the relative wealth of territories, this is a 14 base wealth territory. Lombardy, I love Lombardy. If I can get Lombardy, I can win the whole game. That's why Milan is actually a power to be reckoned with at all. I mean, it only has 3 territories. It's this tiny little thing. I am now the papal controller. I have a 4th diplomat. I have plus yearly prestige, plus 2 possible advisors, which means that I'm more likely to get whatever advisor I happen to want at the time. It doesn't mean that I can have more simultaneous advisors. It means I can choose from 5 instead of choosing from 3. It gives me yearly papal influence so that I can stay the leader, and it gives me plus 1 leader without upkeep, which means that I can have a 2nd general if I so choose, but I don't want a 2nd general. Awesome. Awesome. That's what they say. Awesome. I am the papal controller. This guy votes for me. And this guy votes for me. Weird. Alright, when is my 4th diplomat going to arrive? Maybe I have to not be at war? Emualdo has arrived. Everyone in all of my territories was like, Emualdo! We missed you, Emualdo! Alright, so I got a new diplomat. Let's see who I want to use him on. Both of my vassals are happy. All of my allies, 179, 180, 200, 181, 193, 179, and 37. They will be happier once I let's go with France. I know that France is never gonna like me, but I can dream, can't I? You know, like at this point with 4 diplomats, I can improve relations with 16 or like 12, between 12 and 16. Like if it's 3 per diplomat, it's 12, and if it's 4, it's 16, right? So it's crazy. It's crazy how much people love me. And I could theoretically get a much better advisor now if I wanted. But I'd rather be rich to build buildings than have more to tech up faster. Because you can't tech faster, like you can't really tech super fast. If you get way ahead on tech, then all your techs just cost 1,000 per tech, and then, you know, people eventually catch up, even though they weren't spending all their monarch power or didn't have as much monarch power. Anyway, point is that monarch power is very important, but there's a limit to, you know, to how much you can use it for the things that I specifically care about. You can use it a lot for other things that I don't care about, but if you have a lot of territories, each one of these buildings costs 10 monarch power, so you need way more monarch power to rule a large government than you do for a small government. So that's when you would get really expensive advisors. So it's funny because a large nation is going to have a lot of money, but they're going to have to spend that money on very expensive advisors. Gain legitimacy, opinion of Savoy decreases. Lose legitimacy, Savoy gets tax boost, giving the following. Provence. Okay, so piss off Provence and gain legitimacy, or make friends with Provence and gain money. I like legitimacy, honestly. Legitimacy gives you revolt risk, tolerance of the true faith, tolerance of heritage. So tolerance gives you money. So it gives you money, it gives you diplomatic reputation, which is the most important thing, and it gives you revolt risk. And revolt risk can be a big pain in the butt. There's large butt pain involved in the risk of revolt. Okay, so I need a dude to come home. Frenchie, come negotiate some peace. A French peace has been negotiated. I will negotiate for some pieces. So for some pieces. All right, I can fully annex. I can actually do that, but that would give me plus 45 aggressive expansion, basically piss off the entire freaking world. And I've already worked towards making Milan like me, so vassalization would be perfect. That's what the war goal even is vassalization. So that's really what I want. Annexation is only a tiny bit tempting. Look how rich Milan is. That's because of Lombardy. It makes so much money. All right, perfect. All your money, all your trade power, and you are now my vassal. Done. What a great war. That was awesome. Man, this has been a really good start so far. All right. So the aggressive expansion I got from vassalizing them is still large, but it's much smaller than it would have been had I annexed them. So let's see who it pissed off and whether or not I need to appease any of my friendly friends. So it looks like Milan is the one that I just vassalized. Roma, everyone who used to like me still likes me. Looks good. So I'll send my diplomat to Milan instead of France. We're going to make them like me as much as we can. Nice. So Milan and Baden I will actually be able to annex at some point. Annexing Holy Roman things is often not worth it because having vassals... Okay, so... One, when you annex somebody inside the Holy Roman Empire, it pisses off everyone in the Holy Roman Empire. It's better to just keep them as vassals for that reason. Two, when you annex any vassal, like say you had Spain as your vassal, right? So say I had Castile as my vassal, and I was worried that if my king dies and Castile stops loving me, that they would declare independence and their army is stronger than mine and they would be able to win their independence and it would be tragic. Or that somebody would force me to break all ties with Castile in negotiations from beating me with war. Like there are risks to keeping a vassal. Someone can take your vassal, but they can't take your territory nearly as easily. So I decided to annex the vassal of Castile. I would gain a ton of base tax, which would allow me to diplomatically vassalize a ton more people because they would see how powerful I was and they would want my protection. I would gain a ton of force limits. I would gain a ton of manpower and lots of really good things by doing that. But the manpower of Castile as a nation is, let's just say, 50,000. The manpower that I would get by annexing them would be like 30,000. The force limits that they would have would be like 100,000, so they could field 100,000 troops as my vassal, so they'd be running around with these 100,000 troops. As soon as I annex them, I would only be able to have like 60,000 additional troops. So keeping a vassal is better militarily and worse economically and worse for diplomacy. That's how it works. Anyway, our manpower needs to recover. Enemy of our enemy, make friends with England. I'm going for this one. It's a good quest. And it looks like we can make more temples, which is always a good idea. Temples everywhere. Unless you are like the Ottomans or somebody with tons and tons of territory who doesn't care how much money each individual province makes. This is the Ottomans over here. You basically always want to put a temple in every province because it's +1 income per year, which is, I mean, the entire income of this whole province is 6 per year. So +1 is huge. It's a very significant thing. Always build temples everywhere. Alright, it looks like we're friends with lots of people. What's the aggressive expansion I have against Burgundy? Burgundy's aggressive expansion penalty against me is 0. They didn't care. I just vassalized Milan and they're like, do it. It's fine. So Austria is pissed because Milan is within their Holy Roman Empire and they're mad about that. But they're never going to like me. I'm improving relations with them so that they can like me slightly more, but it will still be negative 150 or something. Yeah, it'll be negative 150. 67 aggressive expansion against Austria. I want to go through a pretty significant period of peace so that I don't piss off. I get too many people in. Oh my god, and I have -5 diplomatic relations right now, so that's bad too. So that can often break alliances, but more importantly, losing 5 diplomatic reputation means that it's much harder to annex, much slower to annex, because the speed at which you annex a vassal is based on your reputation. You know, like think of Panama joining the United States or something. The more of a reputation the United States has for dealing fairly with people and being good to be a part of, the more Panama is going to want to quickly integrate with the United States. Okay, so more temples. We'll temple it up, yo. Temple it up. Then we'll put armories everywhere. A lot of people disagree with the idea of putting armories everywhere because it's a very small amount of manpower, but percentage-wise, in a small nation, it's still significant. Like, it'll raise my max manpower from 16,000 to like 18,000 or something by building a ton of armories. Looks like we need that guy to fight inflation again. It looks like we need to repay our loan. Easy to repay these loans. They're tiny, tiny baby loans. And the amount of money we're getting from Lombardy every turn now, vassals are giving us 3. So we get 3 from our entire nation, and then we get 3 from our vassals. So we're earning as much money from our vassals as we are from taxing everybody in the nation. So getting Milan with Lombardy in it as a vassal is great for business, man. We're rich, crazy rich. All right, so the Papal State is requesting that we come to their aid against the Papal conquest. Oh, they're attacking Siena, and Bavaria, Genoa, and Cologne. All very small things that I wouldn't mind fighting against. My concern is that I don't think the Papal State is in the Empire, which means that I would be on the other side in an Empire defense war. And that could be really bad. That could cause Austria to come kill me, right? So they're at war with Bavaria. When do I have to decide? I think I got 60 days. So let's give it, you know, a little while. See who comes in on the defense of Genoa and stuff. I'm gonna wait till April. Alright. So they only have to take this one territory and then the war's over. It's gonna be a quick war, an easy war, and being friends with the Pope is great. I think that this is a war worth fighting. My big concern is that there's probably about 30,000 troops up here, and I don't have 30,000 troops. But if Roma takes Siena quickly enough, then it'll be worth it. I just hope this doesn't get me in a giant war with 1 million people. Alright, let's see if these guys will take my call to arms. I don't think they will. I think because I'm allied with Rome and they're not, they don't feel any obligation to help Rome take territory from Siena. Like, what do they care? All right, so out of fear, I'm going to fully fund my army and hide at the top of this giant mountain with a river. And I think I'll still die if Bavaria attacks me, but I suspect Bavaria can't get here. Our manpower reserves need to recover. I failed. Oh, I guess the quest was to recover manpower before we fight a war. Whoops, oh well. So there used to be an accumulate money quest where the reward was money, and that was the bug that the guy used to conquer the entire world as some tiny nation, is that you know, you get the accumulate money quest, and it says try to save up, you know, enough money to be like the equivalent of a year's worth of income, and if you do, I'll give you a fifth of a year's worth of income as a reward. And so you could take that quest, complete it, and then take it and complete it, and take it and complete it a bunch of times during a pause and get like infinite money. But they patched and fixed that bug immediately, and they changed the accumulate money quest so that now it only gives prestige instead of money. So it never really made sense. Get some money and we'll give you money. Like, I don't get that. Alright, so there's the 20,000 troops. Come and kill me. I shouldn't have moved away from the mountains. Go back to the mountains, guys. And I need at least 5,000 troops to successfully defend. I can afford 6,000 troops, 5,000 troops. But I should have built them before I fought. I knew there was going to be 20 to 30,000 troops coming. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, good. It's not coming. He's just going to defend Liguria. So if we get this before this army shows up, we win the war. If we don't, we lose the war. It looks like our opponents have more troops than us, so this war is really going to rely on me to win it. Notice how all of my vassals are coming to ball up with me. So even though I only have 13,000 troops, together we have 17. So that's better than nothing. I think I'm going to take out a loan and try to really win this war. And I was saying that earlier. Often you come to a point where the only way to win a war is with a loan. 2 loans. Oh, not enough manpower. Okay. Alright, so that'll put me over force limit. That'll put me right at force limit. And I'm going to try to move up to Piedmont so he can't get cut off. And we'll